So welcome to this session about how to unleash employee success through self-service. My name is Per Strand, and with me today I have Ali from Maple Leaf Foods. Ali, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. My name is Ali Bey. I'm a director within the infrastructure team for Maple Leaf Foods, a part of the information services solutions team. Been with the company for 13 plus years. I look after the service management team, data center and cloud technologies, the network and communications team, and our 24/7 operations team.
Thank you, Ali. Fantastic. We are eager to hear more about your story around self-service in a little bit. My name is Per Strand. I'm Senior Director, Business Development at BMC, and also co-founder of the knowledge company ComeAround that was acquired by BMC 1 year ago. So the subject of employee success through self-service that me and Ali is going to cover today, I would say has never been more relevant or important than it is right now. And I hope that both me and Ali can explain why. Self-service and knowledge management is so much more than just a knowledge base. I think you should look at it as the fuel that you put into your technology to make it work. It's a little bit like electricity. If you think about your electrical car, electricity itself doesn't make much use, but when you put it in the right place and let it work, magic stuff happens. So that's how we should look at knowledge management and self-service. And with new technology coming, I think that's more important than ever. The knowledge that organization's employee has, I would say, is that organization's most important value. So it's a bit strange that we don't take more care of that knowledge. It's our biggest asset. So, okay, let's get back to that in a minute. I think that Maple Leaf Foods and other companies understands not only the value of it, but also how to manage this and keep it healthy and updated. And I think they also already have, but will have even more advantage, and they can use this over and over again and to be more successful in control. And they can feed new smart technology with this knowledge. And it will really help them also to take the right decisions based on real information, real knowledge, instead of just taking chances. And Ali, just before we kick off this presentation, can you just tell me short? I happen to read and know that Maple Leaf Foods is the world's first major carbon neutral food company. First of all, is that true? And can you explain what does that mean? It sounds great, by the way.
Absolutely. It's definitely, it's one of the, so basically it is the world's first major carbon neutral food company. We focus a lot on waste elimination, and really what we're talking about and what we're going to be discussing today is engraved in our DNA at multiple levels. And as we mentioned today, the subject is not about the carbon footprint measures statistically. But we're actually looking at eliminating wasted effort. That's basically how we're going to tackle this today with our discussion about BMC and how it helped us automate so many manual processes that actually allowed us to participate to the great cause of the being carbon neutral.
That's great. Must feel good to work on a company with that kind of vision for being neutral in that terms. And I know that your vision is to be the most sustainable protein company on earth, right? So it sounds like it's definitely something you think about.
That is correct, Per. It's a bold mission that we are committed to. Become basically the most sustainable protein company on earth. It's definitely a loaded sentence because it's meant to be a bold mission, and we are looking to transform the world's food system to survive and thrive for generations.
Excellent. Thank you, Ali. So before I hand over to Ali again and let him share more about the fantastic Maple Leaf story, I want to sort of set the stage here around knowledge management, intelligent self-service, and what that actually means, why we should care about it, and what we actually can achieve when doing so. According to Gartner, we spend in average 2 to 3 hours per day searching for relevant information just to do our main work. Think about that, 2 to 3 hours per day. This means that per person, me personally, if I'm an average, I spend 700 hours a year just searching for knowledge, searching for relevant information to do my job. I think that's crazy. Think about what I could do with those 700 hours if I don't have to search so much and struggle to find what I should have in front of me, right? So let's say that you're a company with 10,000 employees. I know you are much bigger than that, Ali. Then you would have in total 8 million hours a year just searching for relevant knowledge. So if you look for a business case, I know that it can be a struggle to find a very clear business case for knowledge management because it's a bit fussy and you know it's important, but how should you measure it? And how should you know that it actually make a difference? So I think about that, 10 million employee, 8 million hours spent looking for knowledge. We cannot find a stronger business case than that. And I think if you're not managing your employees' knowledge properly, you will spend more and more time searching for it and also risk not finding it or ending up with misleading information or outdated knowledge that you make wrong decisions based on. But this is not so much about emptying your employees' brain or of knowledge. It's about creating more of a culture where everyone feels involved and has a responsibility to share what they already know. I think in short, you could say that champion must get a chance to shine and be heroes, and they should be rewarded for it. So it's about build the culture, find a process, tool, and a way to work around that, and magic stuff will happen. And I think that's what happened at Maple Leaf Foods, but we get back to that. So what happens if we don't care about this, if we do nothing? Do we have to care about knowledge management? I think one issue with knowledge management is that, and intelligent self-service, is that it's not one person's responsibility. So you cannot go to the CIO or to the CEO and say that, why haven't you done this? It's more of a cultural thing that everyone has a responsibility to work on and contribute to. And according to EDC, they say that poor knowledge management costs the Fortune 500 company $31.5 billion yearly. So that is a lot of money that is wasted because of poor knowledge management. And what they see is that costs go up for these companies, and the staff will search more and more for relevant knowledge. Worst case, they will not be slow; they will stop work at all because they don't find relevant information. You will definitely not get any space for innovation and creativity. I think that's maybe the worst part of not having the relevant knowledge. You will not be able to transform your company using new technology, using what is happening around us with AI machine learning. You will just struggle with the basics. So that is also, if you think long term, a big cost for organization that doesn't have the knowledge foundation in place. And for sure, it will affect your employee brand. It will not be a very pleasant experience working for a company where you don't even get the basic knowledge that you need to do your work. That is so frustrating. And move from that to innovation that's a big gap. So, and also you will make decisions, business decisions based on not the right information that you need to make those decisions. And think about that. It's like driving a car with your eyes closed. You will not do that. That's dangerous. And I think today we are making a lot of decisions without having the right knowledge in front of us. Okay, so that was enough of the negative side. Let's talk about the positive side. I like that side more, by the way. What happens if we do like Maple Leaf Foods and Ali's team has done and actually take this seriously, understands the upsides of working with knowledge and intelligent self-service properly? According to EDC again, productivity increases up to 40%. That means that we can start to work 3 days a week, right? Who would do that? And with the same productivity. So just that alone is a reason for working with knowledge management, right? All the KPIs is going up. We become faster, more accurate. The quality goes up and the cost goes down. So There are a lot of KPIs we can use to track this, and I think you, Ali, will come back to that a little bit and show how you have measured that some amazing stuff had happened with your KPIs when starting to use more of a knowledge foundation and intelligent self-service to support the business. And also something that is really hard to put a number on, but I think is maybe the most important thing, is that the customer and employee experience will just go up. That is so hard to measure, but if people find what they are looking for, if you have the updated knowledge in the right channel, things will just start to happen, and you will focus on what you actually should focus on and not searching for information. So now we have covered sort of the negative effects and the positive effects of working with knowledge management, what happened if we establish effective knowledge management. So with that, I think I will let you, Ali, talk more about what actually happened in your case, in a real case, when you started to take knowledge seriously. And I think, and I cannot tell you how impressed I am, by the way, by the work you have done. You, in my sense, you have done it by the book. So congratulations to that. And I think I hand over here to you. You are the best person here to let us know more about Maple Leaf Foods. So over to you, Ali.
Thank you, Parth. All right, so guys, I want to keep this a fluid conversation. I don't want to use big words, rugged, and then I just wanted to keep it simple and straightforward, because the story is simple. So this slide, as we mentioned, Maple Leaf Foods is over 100 years old company. We have over almost 14,000 employees. And our mission, as we mentioned, is to become the most sustainable protein company on earth. Part of that, if we can move to the next slide, please, is the important goal of eliminating waste and maximizing efficiency. How do we do that? We do that by embracing the digital culture, by promoting a mobile-first environment. Automate any processes that are actually manual processes. That's basically modernize our experience, the user experience that they have. So we looked at our service management and team, and we looked at, okay, we need to create that omni-channel, centralized omni-channel, where everybody can basically do their work and can find everything in one centralized place, basically can collaborate in one centralized place. And when we thought of a solution, it started with IS, but we've always had an eye on the business. How can we actually expand this to the business? If it becomes a successful story, then the business would want to jump in, because a lot of our business units, they operate on emails, for example, intakes. So with this in mind, we set some goals, and we looked at them as that we needed an ITSM solution that enables us to improve and innovate the manual and time-consuming processes, with a focus on the modernized and I guess the improved user experience. And we put those objectives ahead of us. We'll try to make them specific objectives so that they're measurables, because it's important to measure your success and where you are, to know your next steps, basically. We looked for deflecting, service calls and scale support, and with that, we looked at how do we do that, and knowledge management came to mind. And really, the way it came to mind, we wanted to empower our end users to find the solution before they pick up the phone or they log in online to actually log a ticket with our service desk. So that's when the whole idea actually started evolving. We also thought that creating an ecosystem is very important for stability and for, again, everybody to connect in the same platform. So if you have an asset, then you have, it's stored and it's linked to the user, it's linked to a computer, it's linked to your monitoring, to your knowledge article. This way you can take a look at everything in one place, report on it, run analytics, and realize what are the areas that need to be improved on. If we can move to the next slide, just so that we can show again some stats. So before we implemented the digital workplace solution from BMC Helix, we were actually getting 80% of our incidents logged by phone, 10% or even a little bit more on email, and then 10% other tools, which is our old portal and a chat feature that we have enabled, a basic chat feature that we have enabled. So we looked at it's very manual. Taking a phone call it can be very cumbersome, manual way of taking information. Sometimes information is not complete. It needs to be, go back and forth with the end user to make sure that you get all the information. Typically it frustrates both ends, the end user and the agent or the request fulfiller. So again, just wanted to give you an idea of where we used to stand, and we looked at it as, okay, 80% coming through phone. The other teams, HR and AP, they're always managing their intakes through email. Every time we need to look for approvals or look for any evidences to provide our compliance team, we have to crawl the mailboxes. Even before, we used to sometimes we have to restore mailboxes to get to the information that are important information to provide compliance team. So it wasn't easy. It was very difficult, very manual, very time consuming. On top of that, we didn't really understand, when you start taking phone calls and logging tickets without categorizing them properly and putting the right operational categories, production categories, and all that, we didn't really understand what our users need. The user behavior, what are they searching for? What are they looking for? What words are they looking for, so that I can be more proactive and create a KB article for them ahead of them before they even start logging a ticket. They can find the information immediately. So, and also understand, where are they logging tickets from mobile, iPad, desktop, laptop, all that. It gives you a great understanding. Basically, we didn't have all this data to understand where should we focus our effort. They were all, best guess on, how to make improvements and based on calls. If you don't mind moving to the next slide, please, Per. And this is, again, reiterating the problem statement. We had a lot of phone calls, costing us a lot of time and effort to provide responses. The team is pretty much, even from a skill set perspective, there is no further evolution for them. It's just taking calls, escalating, nothing too exciting about that. To look for something different. As we mentioned, we couldn't generate as meaningful insights as we have today, watching trends and reports and watching closely user behaviors. And of course, on top of that, we didn't have the best user experience with our older portal, because you had to be on VPN, for example. You had to be there is no mobile version for it. It wasn't it wasn't as clean as the portal that we have today. So it wasn't very effective, if I would put it in 2 words. We looked at all the problems, and we started simplifying them. Was that, what do we want to do? Let's have a bold mission that we need to accomplish, and once we build the new ITSM solution, and let's stick to it, to those goals, and make sure they happen. So we said, okay, I'm taking phone calls, 80% of my phone calls 80% of my intakes are coming through phone calls. We said, if I build a new portal and a good portal with good knowledge articles in place, the user shouldn't have to call me, or maybe only for priority 1 tickets. So the phone calls will have to be dropped to 20%. We didn't want to, we wanted to eliminate email generated tickets completely. Because again, this is a kind of an insufficient way of logging tickets, where the agent will have to look at the email, decipher some of the information, log them into a ticket. It's just operating in 2 worlds, just a waste of time. We wanted to generally overall reduce our incidents. Basically, again, we wanted to empower the end users to find solutions before they actually log a ticket. And of course, as any ITSM organization, we wanted to improve our SLAs metrics so that we can look at it. What am I learning here? Am I learning that I need, more tickets are logged for a specific type of technology? That means I probably need to have more skill set, to hire more skill set to get better with the, provide better, faster resolution there. What technologies are causing the most pain? Is it hardware? Is it software? Is it access? So all those types of metrics that we put in front of us collectively and understand them and run operational reporting on them every month to understand where we stand and what can we do next. And of course, as we mentioned, the centralized knowledge, we want it to be in one database where the users will, without thinking, if they have an issue, I'll just go to this portal and find my solution, or at least it could be a link, for example, to the solution in other platform. That's fine, but at least they land in one centralized platform where everyone is collaborating. The agent can find a knowledge article that could be technical to service the end user. The end user can find a knowledge article, and basically everybody is collaborating in the same platform. Next slide. Yeah. Thank you. So after we realized our goals, basically the gaps, the problems, where we want to be, our goals, we came back and we recommended a solution. And of course, with recommending a solution, we basically decided to revamp, redo our ITSM solution. Part of the recommendation was we must put user experience on top of priorities. That's basically bottom line. Because if the users don't use it, will not use the tool, then you really don't have any data in there to actually or any analytics. You can't get better if it's a tool just sitting there. It might be a great tool, but the user experience is not good. So the users are reluctant. They will fall back to the old habits of picking up the phone and logging a ticket. So user experience, no question, on top of the priorities. We also looked at, when we look for a tool, we looked at 2 aspects where, a tool that can allow us to promote self-service, where you can find stuff and find solutions or resolution easily, and a tool that has a lot of out-of-box options instead of start to customizing and becomes a nightmare to manage after the fact. We also looked at capabilities for automation, references from other folks that where can we get better? Where are the manual processes? What we started talking to customers, what kind of processes did you automate? And I'll give you an example. Like a lot of them came back and said, yeah, we have software deployment automated. We have new hire and automated. And it was when we thought of that, there's a lot of time that can be saved with some of these services. So that to enable automate basically manual processes. We talked about this, is that we wanted to be more proactive instead of reactive. We wanted to be more proactive, providing a solution, and that's basically how we tackled it. That's how we landed on our recommendations and moved forward with it. Because back to you, Per.
Thanks a lot, Ali. That is exciting. Thank you for sharing. And seems like you have gone through a real transformation, and look forward to go to the next stage here, where we can ask you a bit more questions, Ali, and a bit more on the outcome. We are eager to hear how this actually turned out. So let's move ahead. And I think that the first thing, I have so many questions, but I need to start somewhere. First thing is, we are in a very special time with the pandemic, hopefully at the end behind us, and I think things will go back to normal, but I guess it will be a new normal, right? So it will not be everyone gathered like before. How has that affected your strategy around knowledge, and how did that help you during the pandemic to have done this job?
So we were lucky enough that at the time we were, the pandemic has hit us. Basically, we just went live with BMC, so it was just perfect timing for us with the digital workplace.
Did you know something we didn't know?
No, it was just, I guess it was, we were, again, lucky to have that. And really what this enabled us, there were a lot of processes that was involved, changes in processes, how to make sure that everybody's safe getting into the buildings or the sites, how to ensure that we have the right contact tracing in place, fast, rapid rollout of our collaboration tools that we used, and in the center of it was BMC, where every time we launch a new, something new, a new project, here are the new KB articles. Here's where you need to log in. If you need help with that, here's your hypercare button. You click on it, you log tickets, and automatically assigns the tasks and the incidents and work orders to the agents. It was very helpful. And again, I have to say the platform that the BMC Helix offers from a knowledge management perspective is simple, but also flexible. Like, you actually get just the right amount to be there. You need text, screenshots, videos, and a couple of options when you change the font and you change the look of it to make it user friendly. That's available. So again, we were lucky to have that tool available for us when the pandemic hit us.
Sounds like very good timing, and you need to train and be good to have luck. So good luck for you. So another topic that is, I think, very important when you talk about knowledge bases and how to, almost culturally look at how you should work with knowledge is the quality aspect of it. Because I know that, the old knowledge management practices was so focused on quality, and the problem with that, the backside with that, could be speed. There is a balance between quality and speed, and there is a saying that quality doesn't have to be better than that it's sufficient to solve the problem. And I think that many companies still maybe overwork the quality, and the cost for that is that they don't have the speed that is necessary today. We are changing so fast. How did you tackle that, quality versus speed?
I agree with you. It comes back to the same thing. It's again, the quality to us equals user experience in this case. It comes back to the same thing. Listen, it's not easy for technical people, especially techies, to actually go and create user-friendly articles, right? But you will find those, after you actually start the journey, you will find some people will thrive and shine, and some individuals will actually look at it and they like it, and they will be your almost your ambassadors, your pioneers within the team to actually take care of this, curate this, take care of the quality. At the beginning, it wasn't easy. It was, we made sure that we learn from our user experience team. We have, again, we're lucky to have a UX team. We invested in heavily in that. We used to, we started with the articles. They used to proofread it for us, ensure they're simple, design is simple, the colors are inviting, they're friendly and straight to the point. Not for example, you can't have a knowledge article that is 8 pages long and expect the user to go through it and write, or even the agent per se, like somebody's on a call or trying to resolve something. They don't have time to go through that. It's got to be very precise and clean. So we learned from that, and we took it, and we actually again identified individuals from the service desk team who used to take calls only, and then now they're more excited. They're doing something different to develop their career and focus on knowledge management, curating this knowledge management, encouraging other teams to actually write KB articles, writing on behalf of other teams. You will receive a technical article, you'll massage it and publish it. And we started to build this culture where now, more teams have those individuals, identify those individuals that can create those knowledge articles, and that's key. We still hold the last button to publish, just from guarding principles, I guess. But it seems to be working very well for us.
Sounds good, amazing. And I mean, I guess one phone call can only help one person, but a knowledge article can help thousands, right?
I agree.
So very, very good job there. Let's move on. What about knowledge-based curation? Maybe you need to just explain first what that is. Someone wonders.
Yeah.
How I'll handle that.
Yes. So we always focus again. Sometimes you create knowledge articles, and they actually before we did have some knowledge article in it, but we didn't have any analytics running on it. BMC, what allowed us to do is that you get Google Analytics to turn them on, and it starts telling you, you watch for trends, which KB articles are used the most. Which ones are, have the users have provided feedback for example, with a smiley face, or what phrases are the users looking for and searching in the search bar. When we actually trace those searches and see top searches, if I see, I don't know, new hire, some software, then I would look back and see, okay, the users need this, they're looking for this, there's 100 hits on the search per month. That seems to be something in demand. Let's try to put a new knowledge article in place so that when they search it, they can find it. We even sometimes go beyond, we uplift this knowledge article, and we use the banner, basically the rolling banner, to actually put it there. We also went into, because we understood the importance of it, and because we see the user started to actually use them, the knowledge articles, based on the hits that we see and based on the amount of incidents that went down. We started to introduce it as a standard and as part of our PMO processes. So say, okay, every project, if there's a new project coming in, you're introducing a new technology or you're changing, make sure that you come back to us. We will help you with building those knowledge articles. The key was, the key was, is that, teams are busy, and they're very, especially technical ones, they're very techy, they're very busy. with that. It was really the invitation that they liked. When we invite them and say, yeah, we will help you with writing those knowledge articles. We will, give us the context, and we will put it in the right frame to make sure the quality is good and for publishing. And that's how we started doing that. The other aspect of it is that we didn't stop on. At the beginning, we launched it with text and screenshots. But then, just looking at the world and where the world is going, and the world of Instagram and TikTok and all that, people like to see the videos and steps. It's just easier for them to follow steps in a video than reading. So we started actually with certain articles to create those quick 30 to 40-second videos. To just illustrating steps how to and that's basically something that we integrated with our KB articles, and users are loving it.
Awesome.
I gotta say, we didn't really, there's something key to highlight here, is that I didn't go and expand and hire new people to do that for me. It's my existing team taking away some of their time, finding the individual who's interested to basically do those type of tasks, and take them to the next level. I didn't actually have to expand and hire. People sometimes think, if I get knowledge in articles, I have to expand my team this much. No, you just put a goal, pay attention to the quality, and actually there will be a lot of people that will buy in and try to do it themselves.
Amazing. What was it difficult to get that buy-in? Was it a lot of work to convince them that it was worth it, or how did that go?
Not at all. They found it actually as something interesting and new for their day-to-day job, and they started feeling that they're closer to the business and they understand the business better. Then when you put the title analyst next to it, that's now you're started to actually analyze data.
Yeah.
Right. And instead of before, it used to be just answering phone calls and being more reactive, right? Mm-hmm. And now they're actually analyzing data and watching the effect and impact of it. So you're more connected to the results, to the goal. And once you once you connect to the goal, to the end result, you understand the purpose of your role and of the actual task.
Fantastic. That must be any manager's dream, to have a team that take that kind of step up. And thinking also integrating it to the PMO process, that to me sounds like you are really going from reactive to proactive. Instead of just seeing that, hey, something has happened, we get a lot of questions on this new project system, you really collaborated with those teams to be prepared, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we did is, again, we kept it simple. We didn't come back and say, okay, we need to revamp all your processes to introduce that and change everything. No, we kept it simple. So guys, when there's just, it's a checkpoint. When you get to it, when you introduce a new software or hardware or change something, just let us know, and let's always keep in mind there needs to be some time allocated to look after the KB articles, and once, or even services, some new services that you put in DWP or new support groups in the back end. Once you have that invitation basically in place, you will see it organically grow after that.
Super. So let's move on to what is really interesting here, the outcome, right? How did things turn out? What happens to the KPIs? What happens to your goal about phone calls? So
we're very happy actually with the launch. It was a great success. Again, a lot of it proved that all the usability testing and all the design And the priority for when we prioritize the user experience and the knowledge articles, it proved that it actually came back with some, that we within 1 year, we flipped the usage of phone calls from basically went down from 80% to 30%, even below 30% now as we speak. So we're closer. We're not there yet. We said we want to go to 20%. We're not there yet. We are committed to get there we're on the right track. Committed to get there by next year for sure.
Yeah, you will definitely get there. So what do you do with all the spare time you have now? Is it longer coffee?
Not at all. Not at all. It's actually, again, the analysts are doing their job. They're actually analyzing data and user behavior and being more proactive. We eliminate, all this wasted effort, basically spending it on reactive, being reactive and so on into more of the analytics world.
Great. Yeah, it's amazing results. Really good job. And we have some more outcomes.
Yeah. So once we created this, and that's actually a great story. Once we created this and our IS department starting using it and our HR services starting using it, more teams actually they started approaching us because they see the tool working and they see that we are actually not nonstop. We always try to improve it constantly. They started reaching out to us. So now we have our two of our finance teams actually jumped in, our AP and payroll, instead of managing intakes through emails. Now they're actually on the tool. We're looking at onboarding regulatory. We're talking to procurement, and our facilities team is next. It's just the platform proved itself that it's user-friendly, quick, accessible from anywhere, and people are able to find solutions. And those teams, a lot of them actually, they rely on knowledge management. A lot of them is not, the nature of the requests are not necessarily incident-based. They're more like questions, and questions can easily be answered by a knowledge article. Some the complex ones will go and bug a service request, but a lot of them can actually proactively be answered. Yeah, I mean, one of the amazing stats that we have, we noticed that the time now that there's a closer look at the analytics and how many tickets are we getting per week, and which one alerts us for the automatic alerts for it reached 50%, 80%. We started actually to notice that delivering and fulfilling services went for some teams actually went down, became faster. They started to deliver, instead of spending 2.5 days to deliver a service, now it's 1 day. Which was great as well. So that's when the other team started to talk to us. Yeah, and that's basically the story. Sorry, I mean, maybe one more thing that is important on this slide that I wanted to mention, this slide before, is that because we have a knowledge base that is centralized. I manage teams all over Canada and offshore, and we have some other services here and there. So multiple people collaborating in the same space. And in this model, there is a high turnover, actually a high turnover in the when it comes to changing request fulfillers. And when the knowledge is centralized and shared amongst, and documented and shared amongst the teams in an easy way, anybody that can jump in new to the team can easily be onboarded and can easily start to hit the ground running, provide actual value, provide support, instead of spending months of training, trying to understand the environment, it's crucial that when you jump into the tool and, based on some words, it picks up the knowledge article that most likely to resolve the issue. I think it's crucial. It was actually great to us to have this available for us.
Great. I'm curious now, when you have sort of transitioned into being this quite mature, knowledge-centered company. And I mean, it takes a lot of effort to change, right? To go from one stage to another. It needs to be a teamwork, and it doesn't happen overnight. Do you see any risk that you will that it will be short-term success? I mean, the numbers you are showing is amazing, and it really seems like you are in a good shape right now. How hard is the work to continue to stay there, or to be even better? Or do you feel that now everyone sees the goal? So we are already here now. It's a self-playing piano, or is it, if you leave job 1 week, will you go back to the earlier stage? What will happen?
No, definitely not. I don't think anyone would actually accept the fact that we go back to the old days. And as I mentioned, we're at a stage right now where the operating units, different operating units from the business, they're the ones reaching out to us, asking to be onboarded and utilize the same tool. So I don't think it will stop. On the other hand, we have again a clear vision and a view where our next 3 to 5 years, how will it be, and where to invest and when, basically to keep improving.
That's great. So let's move to what do you see in the future? What's can you go much better, or do you think you are in a good shape and you should just try to continue to be there?
Yeah. So one of the reasons why we picked one of the top players basically in this area is that we looked at the roadmap, and before we shook hands, we look at the roadmap. Is this a company that will just stand, like they have a solution, here you go, and I'm not going to do anything with it afterwards, or is this a company that is looking, more like, I want to expand and I want to do more and better in this area? So that was key to us. So we're definitely not going to stop here. We're thinking of we always had chatbot actually in our books, but at the same time we didn't want to launch it at the very beginning of launching the product, because chatbot needs some maturity, some mature knowledge articles, some mature processes. So now we're at a stage where we can say, yep, if I launch the chatbot to deflect those basic requests, I think I can do it, and it's going to be again a delightful user experience, not just a chatbot that is broken or basic or can't do the job we want it to do. We're also looking at more integrations with other systems. We run with SAP, with Microsoft to do actually more integrations to automate the software deployment. So when a user asks for something, we wanted to make it like if I put it in words, like an Amazon-like experience, right? Like it's just and BMC platform allows you to do that. The user asks for a software, it goes and provision it in the back end automatically, all automatic self-service, and it will send a notification back saying that, yep, it's being deployed or it's been deployed. If it's a paid software, then there's an approval for it. If it's free, then it's, it doesn't need approval, all that. So we're looking at it. And of course, we're looking to onboard more operating units from the business to the tool. We also have had some, now that we at this mature level, our change and release management team wants to also integrate their change and release management that is currently managed outside of BMC. They want to do that in BMC, and I think a great platform. We for it, and just to be more connected again. And finally, we're looking at the again integrating the monitoring and event management with BMC. So at any we do have integration right now. It's through email integration. We're looking at evolving that to basically become more of a integration through APIs, auto resolution, or auto fix as well.
Fantastic. Sounds like you have some job to do still to get even better. So exactly. Ali, thank you so much for it's been a great pleasure speaking to you, and it's such a interesting story to listen to, and I think that you have done so many things right, and it's amazing results that you are sharing here also. Thank you again so much to you, to Maple Leaf, to the entire team for contributing to making BMC Exchange better, and talk to you soon again.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Have
Bye.
a good one.